Hey, Alexander, Mr. Riggs here. Hope you're doing well. Thank you again for working hard on this 9/11 comparison and contrast essay and for uploading it to your Google folder. It's a great job doing all of that. And here are your first set of video edits for that project. This is exactly how things will roll throughout the rest of the semesters. As you upload projects, I'll check them out, make a short video with a few edits and highlighting a few strengths for you, just so we can make sure that we are practicing those 3 C's that I talked about the first Tuesday of creating, where you create essays and projects, critiquing, where I kind of go in and investigate what's being done well, what could be done better, and then collaborating. So working together on not just keeping these edits on this project, but asking ourselves, how can we use these edits to grow as writers? And so looking forward to doing that more with you. Great job here for your first essay with these writing workshops, and going to just kind of highlight a few things to work on for next time. And let's get this underway. I'm going to try to keep these videos between 5 to 10 minutes, 10 minutes being on the very long side. I'm going to really try to avoid that here. So just to kind of let you know where we're headed. First things first, with titles, just kind of make sure that you have some sort of title that doesn't explain everything, right? But lets the reader know what is specific about this essay. So a few examples are ways America is different from, because of 9/11, airport security changes due to 9/11, etc., right? Just kind of make sure you let the reader know a little bit more of what they're going to be getting into with the title here. So a few things with this introductory paragraph. Great job here with getting the reader interested. It certainly does show us how the 9/11 attacks were so terrible and why we would have started to make some changes. A few things real quick. We mentioned up here that there were drastic changes, right? And that's fine, right? And that's true. One thing that I would have done, though, just to kind of help the reader next time, is if we're going to say something like drastic changes, but only highlight one of them down here, make sure we have we need our thesis, right? We need to tell the reader particularly what we're going to be talking about. And so what you could have said here that would have really helped the reader, I think, is just to say one of the biggest changes in America, right? So one of the biggest changes is with airport security, right? Boom. And that's all you would have needed for the reader to know, okay, yes, there have been lots of changes because of 9/11, but one we're going to clearly get into here is with airport security. So just make sure next time that we have a thesis or some kind of argument or controlling idea that's going to help the reader know what I'm going to get into the rest of this paper. As we move on, you do a great job of comparing. Okay, here's a little bit of before 9/11. Here's a little bit after 9/11. Right in the middle of this first one, though, we have this comment about we didn't have to be worried about war on our soil. We didn't have soldiers dying, which is it's a very unique point to make, but it was a little out of place in this conversation about what you could bring on airplanes and what you couldn't. And so just kind of make sure that we are keeping relevant content together, okay? That we're not just kind of giving a series of facts that are related or not related. Also, with a few of these things, make sure, sorry, I'm just doing a thing real quick here. Once you've read something, go back and read it aloud and ask yourself, does this make sense to the reader? So this sentence right here, right? Let's go ahead and read the original one out loud real fast. Airports got more training and better equipment to search people thoroughly going into 2 airports and getting on flights. So overall decent sentence, right? The few things we could have improved on it. Airports themselves did not get more training, right? Like we didn't get training for the airports. We didn't, like the actual structure didn't get training. And I know that sounds really finicky, but we need to make sure we're clarifying, right? If we're going to say that the airports got training, who did we get the training for? what's the training about? What's the goal of the training? So just kind of making sure that the reader understands what kind of training you're talking about or who's getting the training, right? And then if we read things out loud, we're going to catch these little things right here where we say into, so we didn't need this to right here. And this is actually the adverb form of to. So I think originally you would have meant the to version. But regardless, we didn't need it there to begin with, right? And then just a few other kind of small changes here or there, but again, overall, really strong start. What I would recommend for you, Alex, is to go back and check out each of these edits. Go ahead and click on where I've added something or where I've taken something out and read that sentence out loud, or consider the suggestion over here just to see what kind of change was recommended and how does that improve this writing. And we'll talk more on Tuesday about how to use these edits. But again, strong start. Consider some of these things that I've provided for you, and I'm looking forward to more workshops with you.